Hello, I'm Law, and welcome to my Honkai Star Rail Theory. In this video, I present to you the idea that Xipe the Harmony is dying, and has been since before the Swarm disaster, and in the course of the story, we will witness what happens when a god dies. Spoiler warning for everything up to 3.8, and especially 3.8 of Honkai Star Rail. First, what do we know about Xipe? We know that they are the Aeon of the Harmony, and they have absorbed at least one other Aeon, who is confirmed to be Enna of Order during the Swarm disaster. Xipe is also the one responsible for the Stellarons, which was revealed during the story quest of 3.8, and this was confirmed by a member of the family. The reason I believe Xipe is dying is due to their splash art, as in it they are shown to be broken into puzzle pieces, which I believe is a representation of their body decaying or dying. But the reason I believe this specifically is because the Stellarons are called the Harmonic Cancer, or Xipe's Cancer. And I believe that the Stellarons are the puzzle pieces of Xipe, of their dying body, which are being broken apart and falling away from them and into the worlds that we, the players, exist in. This would explain some of their effects, as it would have the pure power of the Aeon, or the path itself, pure and solidified, instead of like a path strider or emanator. It would be more raw power. However, you might be wondering how Xipe is dying, as how could an Aeon die naturally, as we know that they can be killed by another Aeon during the Swarm disaster, which was shown with Tazaroth. But Penacony in 3.8 also shows that if the beliefs or prayers of an Aeon is taken over by a different Aeon, or even stopping the beliefs or hopes for that first Aeon, it will cause the Aeon, or potential Aeon, to stop ascending or be weakened. We do also have evidence of another Aeon dying, or coming close to dying. We don't know for certain, but that is Long the Permanence. And the reason I say don't know for certain is because their entire path revolves around living and the continuation of life, which I find hard to believe that the Aeon of not dying died. So I believe they potentially rebirthed or did some other permanent shenanigans. During the Swarm disaster, we knew it was literal hell during this time, and the idea of the Harmony might have existed in prayers, but we know for a fact it was Enna of the Order who grew as the desire for harmony would have become a desire for order. This means that the prayers that were intended for harmony and peace would have been taken over by the Order, such as what happened with Enna of the Order and Klepoth back in 3.8. But I believe that the Order overtook or swallowed those desires for harmony, and this is also backed by the fact that paths can devour each other as the broader one overtakes the narrower path, and at that time, Order would have been more broader compared to harmony, I believe. However, we do know that Xipe consumed Enna when it took over the path of Order. I believe this was because Xipe was dying, as their path itself was withering, and after taking over the Order and adding it to themselves, they would be able to live for longer, as their path would be broader and allow them for more chances to live or get prayers or anything to fuel them and their path, to prevent it from dying. The reason I believe Xipe is dying and their path is withering is because the harmony doesn't really exist. It might exist as an idea in the universe of Honkai Star Rail, but I believe that isn't enough to sustain the Aeon, as the family, the supposed main faction of the harmony, doesn't properly follow its essence or the idea of harmony when you think about it, as this is seen how they treat Go Forward during the events of 3.8 and how almost brutal they were to him. And if the main faction that is supposed to be harmonious and fair and represent everything that that faction is for, it is hard to believe that harmony would exist. We also know that the IPC, who claim to follow the preservation, go see one of MMA's videos about the IPC, they're very nice. Like, the videos are amazing quality and go over great ideas. But the IPC claim to follow the preservation, and they do not help the idea of harmony, as they were overtaking, and as the IPC are about overtaking and conquering planets, adding them to their portfolios, and growing and expanding as a corporation and business, or just in general. We know that the seemingly major factions that are supposed to help and protect and create harmony, despite their supposed aeons they're following, might not actually follow them. The only examples of factions that do follow them would be the Herta space station, which they follow Noose, Belobog and Eurilo 6, who follow Klipoth, and of course the Zhenshao Alliance, who follow Lan, the Hunt. But the major organizations such as the Family and IPC claim to follow Aeons, but do not fit those Aeons' MO, or their Aeons' beliefs or representations. The paths reflect the Aeons, and as the Aeons themselves are the purest examples of the paths. So because the path and idea of harmony is dying, this would also mean that Xipe is dying, as if their path dies, the Aeon would also cease and die, because they are the purest idea and example of that thing, and if that thing does not exist truly, they would not exist. So this comes to the consequences of what's happening, because as Xipe is dying and withering, and what would happen to their divine body, I believe that the pieces that wither and fall are the puzzle pieces as seen in the splash art, and those become the Stellarons that are granted and used in the world, or their divine blood becomes a Stellaron. The reason I say or their divine blood is because we have seen Nanook's blood in the duration of Amphorius, the later half, and it be used. And we also know that the cats and potentially the Trailblazers, please see my other video about the identity of Trailblazer and Terminus, they're all potentially parts of Terminus, as well as the literal fragments of Thule, or the pure children of Anasphera, come from an Aeon, and all these things exist and impact the world around them, as they come from an Aeon and potentially have a part of that Aeon and that their power. The Stellarons granting wishes, which resonates, and the idea of granting wishes resonates with the idea of the harmony and the concept of harmony and what it would stand for. But because the path is withering, I believe that is what makes them twist and corrupt the wishes that they are given. And to slow the death of the harmony, the family are spreading the lies about the Stellaron and keeping the truth about who's really creating them, and blaming all on the Nook, as it would make sense that something that twists and distorts desires and also brings about destruction would be seen more likely as something created by the destruction instead of a benevolent god, or an intended benevolent god such as Xipe. We also know that faith and belief is a power in Honkai Star Rail, as in 3.8 with Sunday's attempt to ascend, and we know with Sunday's attempt to ascend stemming from the belief and faith of order and the hope for order. We also know that lies in Amphorius, this is an example I'll be referencing Amphorius for, but we also know that lies and beliefs in Amphorius, because of the core flame of trickery, would change the perception of reality, or reality itself, to make the lie become real. I believe that this, because Amphorius is a scale model of the universe, and we know that beliefs and faith can impact aeons, also means because Xipe's faith and the hope of the actual faith of the harmony itself is dying, they are also slowly dying. Thank you very much for watching. I'm sorry for stuttering a bit, but please, if you have any other theories or ideas, or just want to discuss lore, please feel free to leave a comment, but please no leaks, and be kind to others, and have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching. Hi, Editor Sky here, and while I was grabbing a picture of Xipe for the thumbnail, I saw the glowing thing behind them, and I would like to posit the idea that that is a Stellaron itself, or a manifestation of a Stellaron, or like the purest form of harmonic power. And the reason I'm saying this is because it looks to be energy-like and waves and fluctuating, which is similar to how Stellarons are presented, apart from the multitude of colours. Thank you.